that. All right, well, now, you guys, you didn't miss much yet because we didn't get into the juice of what is going on with Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. Well, really, Mariah Carey don't have nothing to do with this for real because she has not said not one thing about this brother ever. I don't ever hear Mariah Carey talking, but I'm always hearing Nick Cannon talking. He always saying something, whether it be about his baby mamas and all his kids, whether it be about wilding out, or whether he's just talking about his own personal experiences and the things that he has had to go through to fix his own ego. I believe we have a clip from a podcast that he was just recently on. So I want y'all to get into the conversation and hear what Mr. Cannon had to say.
I married in my 20s still, you know what I mean, to the biggest star in the world. My trajectory was here, and then hers, she's already in a different stratosphere. I would lay up at night thinking, like, is this who I am? Am I Mariah's man? Is that what my life is supposed to be? There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm like, this ain't the hustler.
Version of yourself.
And then when you have children, your man shit is like, wait, I'm carrying a purse, the diaper bag.
That's all I'm saying. When it come down to Nick Cannon and, you know, him decide to leave the relationship with Mariah Carey, come on, man. You know, ultimately, he decided as a man himself as, you know what, he needed to move away. He needed to get away from Mariah Carey because Mariah Carey is an A-list celebrity. She already got her own things going on, you know, and Nick Cannon wanting to be a man and feeling like he was not a man, he more than likely felt like he was emasculated in that relationship simply because, again, Mariah Carey is already a superstar. As y'all heard right there, he's like, you know what, I get in this relationship, Mariah Carey is already up here. She's already, I wouldn't say queen of pop, but she's an A-list celebrity. Ultimately, Nick Cannon was trying to get there, and he couldn't find his groove. He was in his 20s getting married to this woman, you know, but I think at the end of the day, you know, why this happened is, why they divorced is because he wanted to be his own man. But some people can't understand that. Some people on social media or people that I've talked to are like, you know what, Nick Cannon should have stayed in that relationship. She was one of the best things in his life. He goes on to let people know that they never even argued. They never had any kind of conflict. He just left simply because he wanted to be his own man. And I don't know if that was wrong or not. I don't think it is. But some people out there are like, nah, man, I can't rock with that.
I don't know because from the conversation that he was having, it just seems as though he wanted to feel needed in the relationship, right? And it's perfectly fine. I understand it seems like it's man instincts to want to feel needed in a relationship or just in general, right? You want to feel needed as a man. But with just the context of what we have from that clip, because we obviously don't know what Mariah Carey was like for real in a relationship. We don't know if she was helping him in other ways. We don't know, right? But just from the context of the clip, and he's discussing how she was the superstar. She was the person everybody knew. He was known as like, oh, that's Mariah Carey's husband. And I just didn't think he didn't like that. And he said he needed to check his own ego. But my thing is, was he trying to feel fulfilled? You know, like, was he trying to be fulfilled in wanting to be needed as far as how he even is now with all these kids? He got like, what, 7, 8, 9, 10? I don't even know how many kids he got at this point. He got a lot of kids with a lot of different women. And so it's like, yes, you left your marriage with Mariah Carey because you wanted to feel like the man and you couldn't handle that she was the one in the spotlight. I don't know if I 100% agree with that. Like, I don't know if that was the right thing to do, especially if he was saying like they had no issues, she was really great, and he just had his own issues that he was dealing with. I don't know.
But see, and that's the thing, though. Like, he goes on to say in the podcast that was conducted, he goes on to say, look, I would lay up at night thinking, like, is this who I am? Am I just Mariah Carey's man? Is this what my life is supposed to be? And he goes on to say, look, there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm out here, I'm carrying a purse, the diaper bag, and, you know, I'm standing on the corner like, wait, she's rocking, being the alpha that she is, you know, and she deserves it. But I believe she needs a dude like that. And he goes on to say that I'm just not that dude. You know, I don't want to be that person. I want to be something more for myself. He didn't want that.
833-212-1017. Do y'all think it was okay for Nick to kind of feel this way in his marriage with Mariah, to feel like, you know, she was the one that everybody knew and he was just the person on the side? You know, is it fair for him to have his ego feel that way, or should he just have kind of played his role in a sense and been in that partnership, been in that marriage, because he literally said, other than the fact of his own ego, they had no issues. 833-212-1017. We're going to get into your phone calls on the other side, so make sure you guys keep it locked. It's Jammin' with Juice. Behind every minority and woman-owned business is a dream, and sometimes growing that dream takes extra funding. The Associated Bank Community Uplift Loan Program is here to turn your business dreams into reality. Apply online and get up to $50,000 in as little as one business day. With competitive rates and more accessible credit score requirements, we're making it easier than ever to fuel your company's growth. Let us uplift your business with the support it deserves. Visit associatedbank.com/uplift to learn more. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and protect your dream home with American Family Insurance, and you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance, get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, assigned its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin. And while we're talking about families, we're talking about Nick Cannon and him opening up on a podcast, pretty much saying his ego got in the way, or admitting, I should say, that his ego got in the way of staying with Mariah Carey because she was a bigger star than him, I would say, and he didn't really feel needed. He didn't really feel like, he was the man that needed to be holding the diaper bags and the shopping bags on the side, and people referring to him as Mr. Mariah Carey. Like, he wasn't for that, and he felt like there was another man for that, even though he claims they didn't really have any issues in their relationship. They never really argued. She was helping him when he was going through lupus in the hospital and things like that. Super supportive, but I think his ego was the issue, and we're asking you guys, was that fine? Is it okay for him to feel that way, to feel like he wanted to be the one that was needed? He wanted to be the one that was providing and was, being the man. Men kind of need that, right? They kind of need that ego stroke a little bit, right?
As a man, yes, you definitely, you want your ego stroked. However, I think sometimes some men, not all men, want to go and, create their own destiny. They don't want to live in somebody else's world. Nick Cannon is like, Mariah's world was already set up. She was already a superstar. I'm trying to still become a superstar, but I can't if I'm over here doing these things, doing those things, and then it's Mariah's world. I'm living in her world. I need to create my own world. It's cool that she's, the superstar that she is. Christmas time's coming around. She's going to get another check on Christmas time. But what is Nick Cannon, the man, going to do? How am I going to make certain that my flag is marked, my territory is marked, and I'm actually creating my world? And I think that's why he went back to doing the Wild 'N Outs. He did all the other hosting gigs
to make a name for himself.
Yeah, make a name for himself. A man wants to be a man. But I don't think he wanted to be Stedman. He didn't want to be Stedman, just be in the background. He wanted to be in the front.
833-212-1017. Let us know how y'all are feeling about this Nick Cannon conversation. Right now, we are going to head to the lines and go to the caller. What is popping, the caller?
Well, hello. How you doing today?
Just say.
And then Jammin'.
It's amazing.
Well, with regards to Nick Cannon, I want to send a shout out to his parents for raising him to be an independent person.
Okay.
I just looked at his Forbes net worth, which is now $50 million. And he made a choice as a very young person to pursue his passion. And that's why he was even in a space to meet Mariah Carey and have the children that they have. And when it comes to social media, people commenting on someone else's life, him sharing what he chose to share doesn't mean that I think he cares less about what somebody commenting on social media thinks about how he defines a successful lifestyle and life with his former wife, because my understanding is that they are very good friends. They'll spend a lot of time together with their current mates and their children, which that's something that I, as a divorced individual, actually had a conversation with Sherwin many times and touched on today when I talked to him about. And a lot of people do not understand families remaining family post-divorce. And the main thing is keeping it about the children, and that you as an individual, you have one life on this earth to live.
Right.
And if you go around worrying about what people on social media think, you'll never reach your true destiny, which Nick Cannon appears to have done.
Do you think that's really what Nick Cannon was after? He was like, you know what, I still need to go grab my destiny. You know, he felt like Mariah Carey, again, it was just her universe, but at the end of the day, he needed to create his own world.
And to your point, you kind of touched on that. And my point about his parents raising him, he was on his way to that destiny, which is why he was probably in whatever space he met Mariah Carey, because just a person, you know, of his, he was successful in his own right when he met her.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. And so who knows where he will be by the time he dies. Also, Carrie mentioned him having lupus. Lupus is a disease that shortens your life. Mm-hmm. And so I think, in my opinion, maybe he's having children as a legacy because he knows he's not going to live to maybe 75, 80 like a lot of people do. And, you know, God bless him for choosing a life and living it.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, the caller. I don't know. Like, I'm not bashing Nick for the decisions that he decided to make, but to my understanding, I feel like if you find a partner that's really gonna be there to support you and isn't causing any issues and y'all aren't arguing, and it's not about the argument, but it seemed as though he was saying that Mariah was literally great. She was a great partner to have. Why is it, and maybe y'all can help me understand this, but why is it that he just didn't feel like he could still go after his goals and his dreams while staying with her? Because isn't that what a partnership is about? You know, when you get married, you guys become a team. So what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. Like, but we still have our separate lives.
That's if you believe that, though. You know,
but I guess I don't.
Because every relationship is different. You know, Nick Cannon being Mariah Carey's husband, that's how he saw himself. Again, you know, there's.
But why though? Was that the ego part of it as to why he felt like he was just looked at as Mariah Carey's man? Like, as a man, aren't you supposed to be like, nah, I'm kind of like a Russell Wilson, right? Like, he got Sierra on his arm, and Sierra's like a really big star, but Russell, he can still hold his own. He could still hold his own as that football player.
Yeah, but he's the breadwinner in that household. Like, if you're talking about, again, a man's ego being stroked, Russell Wilson's out here truly being a provider, making certain that he's putting his wife in a position to win, not the other way around. You know, Nick Cannon would have been relying on Mariah Carey for the entirety of his career if he stayed locked in with that relationship. People would have looked at him like that.
But he still could have been making his money.
Yeah, but not the way he wanted to. You know,
I don't understand how he couldn't have done all the things he's doing now while married. Why could he not still host Wildin' Out? Why could he not still host The Masked Singer? Why could he not still be making his name for himself while being married and in a relationship?
I think he just felt the way because, again, it's when you're in a relationship that comes with different responsibilities. And I think those responsibilities of me and Mariah Carey's husband, he didn't want. Again, he said, like, you know, I didn't feel comfortable always having to be the person, hey, I'm going to go grab food for me and my wife, or I'm the one with the diaper bag. Is she the person with the diaper bag? No, he has the diaper bag. He's having all these other, you know, having to take over. He's having to take on another load that he just really didn't want to take care of. And at the end of the day, I think when it comes down to Nick Cannon's situation, he made the right choice for himself, you know, because yeah, basically he didn't want to be a stay-at-home dad, and some dudes just are cool with that, but other folks not. You know, some men want to go out there and, you know, grab their destiny. But call in Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. What do you think about this Nick Cannon situation? Was he wrong, truthfully, for leaving Mariah Carey? Was it his ego that divorced Mariah? Call in Truth Nation.
All right, we got Al on the line. What's poppin', Juicy Jammer? Al?
What I was going to say, Nick Cannon knew that before he said I do. He was not forced. He's not stupid. He's not dumb. And what's mighty funny, he's the only one that's talking that sounds like a weak individual who didn't have enough to make the cut. So if he do all that, why did he say I do? And any man who needs his ego stroked is a weak-minded individual, because when you're a man of great taste, power, and strength, I always stroke my ego, but I don't need nobody to stroke my ego, because I, which is high, stroke my ego, which means even if I was with Mariah Carey, I'm still going to get my money. I'm going to stroke my ego. But what happens when you have men like Nick Cannon? They go out here, make a whole bunch of kids, be a hoe, and then at the end of the road, they end up becoming gay, getting stick up their ass because they couldn't take the laws and lessons of life. He needs his ego stroked. So he needs to be with somebody who's less than him, who make less than him, who can depend on him, the old wise saying, brag brag to people who got less than you because that's the only way you can make yourself feel relevant. That's why people who brag a lot don't brag to rich people, because rich people say there ain't nothing, I already got it. So it's a weak individual with a weak mentality. So why would you need somebody to stroke your ego? You knew you was marrying Mariah Carey when you said, I do. But what happened was you didn't have enough to make the cut. That's why they bail out. It's like with a lot of marriages. The man say the woman was too masculine, but you knew when you married that woman, she was handling the business. So you got to make a victim and create the victim and run like hell.
Hey, Al, let me ask you this question, because this is another thing I've been thinking about with this Nick Cannon and Mariah situation. Like, when you even thinking about it from a business standpoint, do you think that because Nick Cannon was mostly known as like a Nickelodeon star and somewhat of a movie star, that him leaving Mariah Carey was just him trying to rebrand himself and figure out a new identity? Because Nick Cannon, after he left Mariah Carey, we started to see a lot more, black politics come from him. We started to see a lot more just literature about Egyptians and all these other things come from Nick Cannon, including like the Wild 'N Out ideas. Do you think that was more so of a rebrand, or?
I think it was a rebrand, and also we're talking about a black man. A black man don't want to be beneath a woman who makes more money and who got more power. Why do you think they saying black women, I'm too masculine now?
That's interesting, Al. Thank you so much for calling in. God bless you.
Yes. Thank you. And I want to get the town in real quick, because the town been waiting for a long, long time. So I don't want to
talk to my homie in a minute.
What's popping in town? We're going to get you in here before we wrap up the show with a bow.
Okay, what's going on? Oh, my goodness. Like, okay, here it is right here. If you messing with a woman and y'all get married, like old girl said, y'all share everything. A man needs a woman to stroke the ego. And for the last caller, don't mistake your ego being stroked for self-esteem. He's talking about self-esteem. What are you talking about here? This is a man and a woman relationship. And then y'all wondering why the black man and the black woman relationship and family building is so messed up. Because when a man go out there and he put himself out there, Nick Cannon don't need nothing. Nick Cannon was a CEO when he was 14 for Nickelodeon. Tell them listeners to do their homework. He don't need nothing from Mariah Carey.
Oh, wow. I guess he doesn't need anything from Mariah Carey.
I don't know. There's only one Mariah. But call in.
She's a legend. Come on now. Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap up the show with a bow on the other side, you guys. But we are talking about Nick Cannon. Let us know before we get up out of here, especially in the YouTube chat, how y'all feeling about it? Did his ego, Nick Cannon's ego, did that put a divide, a wedge in the marriage that he had with Mariah? Did that make him want to make her get divorced? I don't know. 833-212-1017. Let us know on the line, and we are going to be right back.
Jammin' with Juice returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. The Truth app is home for all the Milwaukee Panther content you would want.
He'll dart baseline, and he will tomahawk it home with his right hand.
From conversations on the airwaves.
We're going to defend every board up the floor and every bounce and every pass. And we've got good depth, and you have to have good depth for the way we play.
To game highlights.
At the top, rises for three over Young and buries it.
Find The Roar on the Truth app, Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts to keep up with Panthers hoops.
Are record energy costs putting a squeeze on your fixed or limited incomes? With limited incomes not keeping up with the lingering effects of inflation, you might be one of tens of thousands of Wisconsin residents who are struggling to survive in the blistering heat of summer or the bitter cold of winter. While you haven't asked for it, the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy assistance providers are here to help. No Wisconsin resident should ever have to face the challenge of living without heat or power or face homelessness. For a hand up, apply today and call 1-800-506-5596. That's 800-506-5596. Or visit www.kwwf.org.
Don't think twice. Garage doors giving you headaches? Best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geis. Family owned since 1955, Geis is the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I use them too. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to match your exact needs. For fast, reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com or call 262-784-4250. GeisDoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Sybaris Pool Suites. Romantic, luxurious, affordable. A place where romance touches paradise and the memories of a lifetime are made. Sybaris offers a variety of room styles, including the exquisite Chalet Suite, which spans 3 levels and features your own private swimming pool with cascading waterfall, soothing whirlpool tub, a cozy fireplace, and much more to make your stay unforgettable. They are located in Mequon, just north of Milwaukee. Take a virtual tour at Sybaris.com.
This is Jammin' with Juice on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Shout out to the Juicy Jammers riding the wave.
What's up, Truth Nation? It is your girl, Noni Juice, and guess what, you guys? Black Friday furniture and mattress savings start right now at Steinhafels. You can get all the latest looks at the season's best prices, like mattresses starting at just $199, recliners at $449, sofas at $499, and more. Plus, you can pay with Steinhafels' special 18-month 0% financing when you purchase $799 or more. No money down, no hidden fees. Shop Steinhafels Black Friday savings right now in store or online at steinhafels.com. We're about to wrap up the show with the bow talking about Nick Cannon and I had to cough. Nick Cannon and his ego. What'd you say, Ben? Your mic off?
Oh, I guess it was. Funny. No, keep on talking.
Oh, wow.
I don't even want to do it.
Alrighty then. Talking about Nick Cannon and did his ego pretty much make the divorce happen between him and Mariah. I kind of like what Not Really a City Girl said in the YouTube chat. She was saying that Nick was around other men who slept around, and Nick was largely known as the Nickelodeon star. It was hard for Nick to rebrand himself. The pressure took him down. But mostly the part about he was around other men who probably were doing that same thing. Like, how many men, and I don't know, so I'm not putting the blame on anybody, but how many men really tell other men, like, man, stick it out with your wife?
You know,
like,
yes,
you know what? Like, be like Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis is out here fighting for his wife.
Get your wife back.
Okay, he said, I'm getting my wife back because what Nick Cannon probably thought was good for him, and I don't know his life, but from the outside looking in, Nick Cannon probably thought like, man, I'm so young. I got all my life ahead of me. I got to figure this out. And now he's still, in his 40s? I don't know if he's still not fulfilled, or at least it sounds like he's still not fulfilled. And me and you had this conversation before. It's like, was it worth it? You know, he could have been in a ride or die type of relationship and had her help him build himself up, or just be a team, right? In a marriage as a team, but he chose to go off, and now he got plenty kids, plenty baby mamas, stressing himself out, trying to make it work with everybody. And it's like, is this what you wanted? To be needed in this way? To be the man in that way? Because it's not like he picked women to have babies with who are higher than him. So does he finally have what he wants?
Nick Cannon didn't want to be a sidekick the rest of his life. Let's be honest.
He didn't?
He did not want to be a sidekick.
But why is it looked at as a sidekick? That's his wife,
but
bro.
He's also a man. So again, a man at the end of the day wants to be in a leadership position.
But I guess my thing is he could lead in so many other ways. You don't have to be the breadwinner. You can, see, that's the problem. That's the problem is y'all don't know other ways to be leaders in relationships if you're not making all the money. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now with the 10 seconds that we got. Y'all better figure it out, because these women out here, we got money and we independent and we got all the stuff that we need. So money ain't going to do it right now. So figure out another way to lead.
We don't like that tone.
Anyway,
we don't like that tone.
all I'm going to say is,
better watch yourself.
I love black people and I love black love, and I'm here for black marriages. But thank you guys so much for tapping into Jammin' with Juice today. It was super, super fun. Make sure y'all go see Usher tomorrow if you can in Chicago. I'm your girl, Noni Juice, always keeping it juicy. That has been Jammin'.
It's amazing.
Shout out to DJ Brothers on the ones and twos. Now tip on that, the Tori Lowe Show up next.
What's good, y'all? This is 1017 The Truth's Telly Hughes, and I am Milwaukee. The goal of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is to